And now in Blacksburg, Virginia, making her 5th appearance on the program. She is back for more, for not only this show, but also for future basketball use. Liz Kitley joins us. Liz, how are you?
I'm great. My 5th time on the show and my 5th year of basketball coming up.
Yes, but this is your 5th appearance. But first, with the Liz Kitley sweatshirt, we want to showcase that a little bit. Part of the name, image, and likeness deal. What do we want? Yeah, look at that, big time.
Get your Kitley sweatshirts wherever you can find them, folks.
First of all, before we get into all this stuff, congratulations to you and your team and Kenny Brooks. For the season you gave all of us as basketball fans, because I know it didn't end exactly how you wanted it, but man alive, what an awesome, awesome journey. And the way you guys handled yourself with class away from the court, you answered questions, the relationship, the chemistry, the relationship with your coach and vice versa. It really is the way college sports is meant to be. So congratulations on that. That's not easy to do.
No, yeah, it was definitely disappointing in the end, but we just have to look back and appreciate what we did do. And the fact that we got to have fun while we did it is just an added bonus.
Have you thought, Liz, just in the last couple of days, now that you've maybe had a couple of seconds to decompress because it was kind of a wild ride, to think about the impact that this team, I'm thinking of women's college basketball as a whole, this team had and you guys have had on basketball? Because to look out in the crowd this past weekend at the Final Four in Seattle, at Castle all season, you've really helped change the game.
Yeah. No, it was really incredible. I think, after our game against LSU, we got to come out and watch South Carolina, Iowa, and I saw all the people in the stands and heard how loud it was. And I looked to my teammate Kayla, and I was like, there's no way it was this loud at our game. Like, there weren't that many people there. And then people were like, yeah, no, there actually were, which was insane because the amount of people that showed up to support women's basketball and just to enjoy it as a sport was incredible. And the growth that I think women's basketball as a whole has had in the last few years is just amazing. And I'm so glad that, I'm able to witness it and be there as a part of it.
How big a decision in terms of coming back did that play, if at all? I mean, you tell me in terms of what you were envisioning of the reason to come back and play more at Virginia Tech.
Yeah, I think definitely the support that we've gotten over the last month, really, when we were able to host the first 2 games of the NCAA tournament, that definitely did play a role because it made it so much more fun, honestly. And it was just cool to have a whole town behind you and a whole school behind you. And I don't think, you can really get that everywhere. So I got really lucky at Virginia Tech. And I think to have the opportunity to play here for another year is a blessing.
When did you really know that you wanted to make that decision? Was there a moment in time during this run that you were like, I know maybe I'll hold on to the decision, but when did you kind of decide, hey, I'm going to run this back?
Yeah, I didn't necessarily, think about it too much until everything was over. I didn't want to distract myself because I really wanted to appreciate the moments that I was in because we did some really special things and went some really cool places the last few weeks. But I think definitely, around ACC tournament time, I couldn't hold it off too much. Like, it was in my mind, and I just knew how much I loved playing here and playing with my teammates. So I think in those moments, I realized that, if I had another opportunity, I feel like I would be sad if I didn't take advantage of it.
How did you break the news to Coach Brooks?
I mean, we have a lot of conversations about a lot of things. I think throughout the season, I was able to discuss what my pros and cons were with him, and he was always there to listen to me. Never would he pressure me or anything like that. He always would just be there for me to be an outlet, I guess. When I finally did tell him, I feel like I had discussed more of the pros recently, so I felt like he already knew. But I basically told him by saying that I had already booked my flight to Australia this summer, so it's basically I have to come back or I'm losing a bunch of money.
I love it. By the way, while you were talking to us, I'm sensing in the background your roommate and your pup are just dying to get some exposure here. Am I reading that wrong?
George's not in here because her parents are here, so she's a little busy. But Winnie went on a walk today, and she's just exhausted.
Winnie's also extremely happy that you're not going anywhere just yet. I can confirm that just based on looking at this.
I love it.
I mean,
That is
my
so
bet
cool.
is her favorite, so yeah, probably.
What about your discussions with Kayla King? Because I know we talk about you and Georgia a ton as being this duo, but you and Kayla have been on this journey together too since high school, and she announced shortly after you that she was coming back. So what were your conversations like together?
Yeah. From the time that we found out that there was going to be an extra year, like however long ago that was, like 3 years ago now, we would always like check in with each other and be like, hey, like, what are you thinking? And I think, both of us really were just like playing it out and see how our seasons turned out and what opportunities we had presented to us. But when I found out that she was coming back too, it made me so happy because, like you said, I've played with her for 8 years now. So making it 9 will be incredible, and I think we've just maintained that really close friendship, which sometimes can be hard when you're around someone so much. But we're so alike and different in so many ways that I think it just helps us. And I'm so excited to be with her for another year.
Liz, you talked about what an impact Hokey Nation has had on you and home games and this great journey in Seattle and obviously to Dallas and so forth. Do you have a feel or an understanding of, it seems like the women's game as a whole is on the cusp of just another level, whether it be through Virginia Tech, whether it be Caitlin making 45 footers on everybody, or the LSU story, or the dynasty, which is South Carolina. I mean, you were really kind of a part of an amazing collection of storylines in Dallas at the Final Four. In some respects, I thought the women's tournament at the Final Four was much more interesting than the men. And in my lifetime, and I've been here a long time, I don't think that's ever been the case. And the TV numbers are astronomical in terms of people watching women's basketball for the first time. Do you have a feel for that, or is it just, are you numb to all the stuff that's going on around outside the program?
Yeah, no, I think definitely I've seen, a lot of that stuff on social media about the numbers increasing. It's also just really cool that that's starting to happen as the growth of our program is also getting better. So, as we're getting on bigger stages, more people are starting to watch those stages, which is just really convenient for us, honestly. And I think it's really cool to see the growth in players' social media followings after games is incredible. Athletes will gain like 400,000 followers after a game, which is insane now. But that just goes to show how many people are watching and investing and caring in women's college basketball. And I'm super glad that we were able to, be there in those moments. And I'm super happy to have the opportunity to continue to play on that stage.
And I got to figure that's got to be part of the hook, too. I mean, obviously, the relationship that you're going to have for the rest of your life with your teammates and your coach, certainly important. And you love this school, and that's obvious every time we have a conversation with you. But I got to figure, I mean, you got your Kitley sweatshirt on, and I know you've talked to your dad and your parents and everything else. But all of that's got to feel like, hey, why would I want to walk away from that? And the WNBA, I'll get to the WNBA. It would seem to me that you kind of have a front row seat to really an incredibly cool deal going on right now.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously the WNBA is a cool opportunity, but nothing is guaranteed. Whereas at Virginia Tech, I know that I'm loved. I know that I have, coaches that will invest in me. I'll be able to get better in this next coming year, which is super exciting. And just be around people that I have fun with. I really don't think that, anyone could have gotten any luckier than me in terms of a place that makes me feel so, wanted, where I can get better, and where I'm just happy. So, to be able to play another year, I'm just super excited. Yeah.
It's tough to find places that you could get even better as a 2-time ACC Player of the Year. But when you look at what you can do and the feedback you've gotten, what particularly do you want to focus on next year in year 5?
Yeah. I think my footwork in some areas can get better. I want to have quicker feet. I want to be able to guard very versatile players. So I'll have to work on that a bit. And then, I've been saying this the last few years, but I swear I'm going to shoot threes. I'm going to work on it. Spend a lot of time on it. I'm going to get there. So I have a few months.
We're clipping that tape
I was
and
going
we're going
to
to
say,
save it.
Kelly Gramlich has got a smile on her face because she's all about the three. So she's going to be fired up to hear that you want to get beyond the arc and start letting it fly, man. She'll love that.
If you start doing that, this team is genuinely going to be unstoppable. You mentioned that you booked a flight to Australia, and I did see the tweet on Twitter. Georgia Amor said your flight's booked to Australia, and I thought it was a joke, but you really are. Is there a group of you going to Australia to visit?
Yeah, me and Kayla got our tickets at the same time. And as a graduation gift, our parents got us like Comfort Plus for the whole trip. So we're looking forward to that.
Nice. Big time.
Nice.
That's
so
the way
she's
to
going to,
go.
you housed her during the pandemic. So now you get to go explore Australia with a native. That's really cool. So what, do you guys have a list of things you're going to do? Do you have any I know you're probably going there with everything in mind that you want to see.
Oh, I'm so excited. She just said the other day that we're going to the Great Barrier Reef, so how much more Australian can it get than that?
Not much.
Well, Kenny Brooks is probably watching this interview going, "Hey, listen, you stay out of that shark cage. We don't need any we don't need any heroes now. You can sit there and check out the wildlife from shore."
Oh, he's texted me multiple times. He'll be checking in frequently.
Are you a Vegemite fan? Does Georgia eat Vegemite?
We have it in the pantry, but I will never open that jar. I can't do the smell. The taste is just terrible, but I appreciate the culture.
Australia.
That's it.
Yes,
That's
there you
it.
go.
From afar. Well, listen, again,
Yeah, from
congratulations to you and your teammate and your coaches and everybody. Really, you entertained us like nobody's business. And I'll say it again, the way you handle yourself with class, to me, states a lot more than whether you hang 1,000 banners or whatever. The way you handle yourself is even more impressive. And that's a tribute to your parents, the way you've handled it, your teammates, your coach, and representing the league. And congratulations on that.
Thank you. That means a lot. I appreciate you.
You got it. Have fun. Take care of yourself.
See you guys.